Hi, Jean. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, don't mind me.
Sorry, my dogs are barking at the UPS truck. It's gone.
That's all right. Say, what are dogs for? I made a joke earlier. I got DoorDash, and my little dog went to tell it about itself, and my big dog was just like, "Hey," I was like, "You're a fantastic guard dog." So, how have you been since last time? Any let up in your schedule?
yes, actually. School, I think that getting through that first part, I feel much better now. I think that I listened a bit. I tried to calm down and get more organized.
Mhm.
Just really laid things out very plainly. Um, and just kind of changed my schedule up from the way I was doing it. And it ended up giving me a little more time. Not that I'm ahead in anything, but I'm not like rushing the clock type thing
Yeah,
either. So,
that's good. You get a little breathing room somewhere.
yeah.
I know that's hard for you to integrate in there.
Yeah. And with school or with work's been okay, but we have a girl, our front desk, I think she's going to quit. She doesn't
Um,
seem to like it, which I don't really I don't know. I don't really know how much she does up there, but
right?
I think she just wanted a job where she could be lazy, and you can't do that there. But I think we're all kind of hanging on by a thread because we'll all fall apart a little bit in our jobs and what we have to do if that happens. So,
Yeah, I was like, because if she wants to slack, that's her prerogative and all,
mhm.
but you're a team at the end of the day, so it's going to fall on you and your other coworkers
Yeah,
that
to
have
cover,
been
and
there.
I don't know how we would do that. So that's just something that's in the air a little bit, and it's kind of awkward at work. So it
Yeah,
just makes it a little uncomfortable. So it's always something,
for sure, for sure.
but I do feel better about school.
That's good. At
Yeah.
least one of the big ticket items to have a little bit
Hmm.
of rest is definitely good.
Yeah.
So, today I wanted to switch it up a little bit and talk about some CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. I think
Hmm.
we can actually apply this really well to the situation you're dealing with at work too. And we think we could apply it to, most situations because we're we're not in fight or flight or anything right now. We're just trying to change what we call cognitive distortions, negative thinking, and try to kind of ask ourselves when we're having thoughts. um I call these control questions. It's like, is this thought 100% true, or is this thought helpful? Because, so for example, when you said, I don't know what we're going to do if she were to quit, like, is that could be that's true, but on another, it's potentially not a helpful thought, because you're gonna sit and you're gonna dwell in that distortion, and already your body and your mind are is going to anticipate the stress that's going to come along with it when it's not even happening yet. It's good
Yeah.
to
It
be aware
is
that
a
it
negative
could be
thought. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it could be it's good to be aware that that's something that you might have to deal with in the near future, but you have enough going on right now in your own present that you have control over, that I'd like for us to try, if we can. I know it's hard because you're like rewiring and
Mhm.
building new habits, but to just consider, is that helpful? No? Okay, I can move on to something else right now, and try and really catch yourself in those moments, so we don't risk any type of added you know dismay on on your already
Mhm.
busy day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you like think of any time that like you did a lot of all or nothing, kind of thinking, or disqualifying positive, just dwell in negative or anything?
I'm pretty good at turning myself around.
That's
It's only when I get in that deep stress hole
right.
that I can't, like, if I get under here,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to get back up here, but usually I can weigh it out pretty well. But I don't know. I guess we're not deep enough into this situation that I didn't really think about how negative of a thought that
Mhm.
is. And you're
Mhm.
completely right. I need to think, how can we better help each other if this happens?
Right.
Um, Again, not that we all want her to leave, but or talk about her or anything like that. But for
Right.
me, kind of figure out in my day how much time I really do have that I could cover the front desk, or a day
Hmm.
that I'm not as busy, and maybe be ready to offer that up and help everybody out. And also by offering, it goes ahead and forces the positive on everybody else rather than just a whole bunch
Just
of
you.
negativity if I'm
Yeah.
ready for that. So I can kind of help myself and other people through that. But yeah, until you said that, I didn't even,
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't even think that. It's
Yeah.
hard to.
And I don't think you're, like talking smack or like negative about her or
Mm-mm,
anything like that. It's just more about you like to take everyone's problems and everything around you
mm-hmm,
that you spend your time in and you're proud of upon yourself. And in this one in particular, you don't have control, and that sucks because it's
mm-hmm,
her performance is what's
mm-hmm,
struggling, whether she means well or not.
mm-hmm.
So the only thing we can do is control our own performance. And
Yeah.
coming up with a plan B of a just in case would definitely be like a proactive thing. Um,
Mm-hmm,
I hope it just wouldn't take too much of your, like I said, present time.
mm-hmm.
And there will be instances like if she has children and she has to go out for an emergency for a few weeks and things like that. I'm sure there's some type of protocol that you guys have to double down when that happens anyway. So you kind of enact those plans. They're there for you if this situation were to arise. You know.
No, we just pray.
Okay? Well, you're like, well, we will figure it out.
No, we just hope we don't get sick.
Right? Like we're not allowed to do that. And I
um,
and I
one would
find
think.
a little in studying some cultural competence, I found something interesting that Americans, this is a Western problem. A lot of like other countries and cultures, like they want to allow the work-life balance, at least not third worlds, of course, but other first worlds. So it's crazy how just like, oh yeah, we can't get sick, and then like Sweden would be like, what? It's something to
Yeah,
point out. It's such an
yeah,
American thing that
it
I
is.
wasn't aware of, that I like to share with people.
Mhm.
So I'm like, this is such a US thing.
Mhm.
but but yeah, there's different types of like cognitive distortion. That one just like jumped out at me. So I would like
Mhm.
share a couple other things with you and like let me
Yeah,
know if this is something you have a tendency to do or
yeah.
anything. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to guess the ones. I have a little sheet, a little cheat sheet
Mhm.
here, which I'll send to you if you would like.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
please.
but I'm going to just kind of try and grab the ones that I think we might be in land with you.
Mhm.
Um, do you have a lot of like should statements? I feel like that goes with a lot of control stuff, like I ought to have, or I should have, or I must have, and where you kind of put blame on yourself.
I used to.
Used to,
I've
okay,
gotten much better with that.
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, well then we'll disregard that one.
Okay.
And I don't think you struggle with like unfair comparisons or overgeneralization or anything like
Mm-mm.
that. So, okay, I was just trying to point out a couple that you might be having just to
Mhm.
bring them to the forefront of your mind so we can hopefully change any distortions that we have. Um, let's see. Maybe like magnification and minimization. Tendency to evaluate yourself, others, and situation, magnifying negatives or minimizing positives. But
Mhm.
that kind of goes
For
back
sure.
with, yeah, and that kind of goes
Mhm.
back um with the other distortion we were talking about earlier. So just,
Mhm.
stay mindful. You are good in that practice.
Yeah.
I just know with the added stress, sometimes it can
Mhm.
compound and we just forget
Yeah.
the basics,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and just talking through things, it reminds me
Hmm.
to be mindful
Hmm.
and keep scheduled. And we talked before about my baths, and I've
Yeah.
been doing well with that. I've been
Yeah. I was
keeping
going to circle
my
around to
bath
that.
time, and I've been trying to read in the bathtub. I've been doing good.
Nice.
I finished the whole book. so
Yay. I'll
so
say, yeah, I
yeah, so
was gonna, yeah, I'll say I was gonna get off the boring definition stuff and ask you if you had
yeah.
time to integrate that. So that's really good news.
Yeah. I almost forgot because I've normalized it enough now that I
Good.
didn't even really remember that was kind of a goal. So that's cool.
Yeah. I'll say I was a little concerned last time. You were like, I've been waking up, feeding animals, going to work, going to school, and crashing out, like to sleep. Not you're not a
Falling
crash
asleep
out.
in the bathtub,
Yeah,
not
yes,
reading.
exactly. Right. So I'm glad you were able to, take a chunk out of time, chunk out of chunk of time out of your day. There it is. To make sure we're prioritizing your self-care.
Yeah.
And have you seen any more games or hung out with your mom or anything?
Yeah, he had a game. They won.
Yay.
So they're in the playoffs. So my mom and I went and picked her up this week and we talked books. So we exchanged books. I'll buy all the books. She reads on her Kindle, but I like to have actual books. So I always take her books and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, we spent a little and it was my nephew's birthday. So we spent time together then. So I did see my mom a lot extra this week.
Good. That's really good to
I
hear.
think that what I do is when I start to get stressed, I avoid my mom because she can tell. So when
Yeah.
I feel better, I feel like I go see her more. And I think she knows that and kind of leaves me alone. So it's a nice balance. I think it's not a nice balance, but it's a
Right.
balance.
It's a good
um,
understanding.
yeah.
Now, is that like comes from like an avoidance perspective of like pride from you, or like you generally like, I just need to be left alone so I could process?
I think it comes from being in recovery. I never want them to worry about me. I want them to always think that I'm okay,
Okay.
even when I'm not. And that's something that I've worked on very hard in the years I've been
Hmm.
sober. I have to tell people if I don't, like what we're doing now, the therapy, I have to tell people if something's wrong. I
Right.
can't hold everything in. Not
Good.
that, but they also had, like my mom especially had to realize that if I tell her something like that, it's not me. I'm not asking for help. I might just want to say, like, I'm having a bad day. And she's really reciprocated that very well.
Oh, good.
So I do feel like I can talk to her more about things or say, sorry, I haven't been around. I think I got depressed there for a couple of days. So sorry.
Good. Yeah.
And
That's what it's
she won't delve into it. I don't, because I don't want to talk about it sometimes. Sometimes I do,
right.
but,
Okay, that's
yeah,
good. Yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
encourage you to at least preface it like no concern for relapse, just
yeah,
throwing it out there. Like I just want to vent, but as long as you're
yeah. And we're past that. We're
that's
past all
good.
that, but it's just, parents worry about their kids.
Of
So,
course. Of course.
yeah.
Of course. You are worthy of their concern though, if there it needs to
Yes,
be a
thank you.
concern. Just know that. It's like sometimes that's a fine line we could try to, well, I don't want to worry them. And then when you genuinely need
Yeah.
help, you're
Yeah,
fully
you're right.
ready to reach out.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you've found the balance though, you know. So I think so like well like overall, I mean, have you been feeling a lot more settled, like you're juggling a little bit better?
hmm
Okay.
Yeah. And I had to kind of stop and think, is it that just that I don't have as much going on, but I have the same going on. It was just I
Hmm.
think I let myself get to that place of being overwhelmed and kind of let things, I don't know. I don't really know what happened, but I think whatever I've done, talking to you, talking about the mindfulness, especially the
Hmm.
scheduling and making sure um, I see my mom, all of those things,
Hmm.
it's all those little things that kind of make up the grand scheme of how I feel. So,
For sure. Yeah, those little small
yeah,
changes really make a big
yeah,
difference. Yeah, because you don't have a lot of time or flexibility for big changes anyway.
no,
So you have to
no.
relish in those tiny
hmm
changes
Yeah,
to kind of keep you afloat. So you've been doing a really good job. I was like I said,
thank you.
I'm I'm really glad I talked with you today because
Yeah, me too.
yeah, you're kind of down the last time, but
I was.
you seem in a lot better spirits today. It's good. So for next time, it'll technically be our
Mhm,
exit session, and you could always reach back out for
mhm.
more time at that point if you were to need it. But we're gonna kind of wrap up everything that we've worked on.
Okay.
As far as today goes, did you have anything else for me today?
I don't think so. I'll try to be a little more cognizant of spending that time with my mom.
Mhm.
But yeah,
And
that
for
sounds good to me.
and try to remember things that are within your control and
Yes.
and when you need to and where to spend your energy because you only have so much
Mhm.
you can give right now.
Yes.
Don't get stuck in that distortion.
Yeah.
So, all right, and I will catch you next time.
All right. All
See
right. See you then.
you then. Bye.
Bye.